Hello, fellow peasants. So I just got done watching Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the first Indiana Jones film. Came out in the early 80s. Written by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Directed by Steven Spielberg. This is one of the biggest movies of all time. When people think of the biggest movies of all time, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark is easily in the top 10, top 20 conversation. Harrison Ford stars as Indiana Jones. He's a professor at a university. He's an archaeologist. Everyone pretty much knows the story of Indiana Jones. I've seen the film multiple times. I'm going to preface this review with I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan. I like the films. I think they're entertaining. I think they're fun. But I don't think that they are. They're just not films that I would personally put up there with some of my favorite films. So I think they're really great. I think they're fun, but they're not something I could watch over and over again. I'd probably pop them in and watch them about once every 10 years. So basically, the film is about Indiana Jones, and he is trying to beat the Nazis. The Nazis basically are trying to find the Ark of the Covenant, which is a biblical artifact, and he wants to get to it before they do, because the Nazis want to get it and give it to Hitler, and Hitler would then have unlimited power, and that would not be a good thing. Everyone knows Hitler was a psychopath. And so he goes on this adventure looking for the Lost Ark or the Ark of the Covenant. And he runs into an ex of his that he's had adventures with in the past called Marion Ravenwood. She's also in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is the fourth film in the franchise. But so he gets tangled back up with her. She's kind of like the female sidekick in this. So there's some globe-trotting going on. Things that I really like about this film, the cinematography is amazing. The storytelling is great. It's not without its flaws. And so I kind of want to get into the storytelling. Let's focus on that for right now. So what I like about the storytelling is there's humor in it. Spielberg and Lucas are great at mixing action, drama, romance, and comedy in these scripts for these films. It's brilliant. Where I think this film and some of the other films fall short in this franchise, storytelling wise, is I feel that some of the action scenes go on a bit too long. Sometimes it feels like it's action set piece after action set piece. And I really think the film's strong suit is when there's dialogue and there's character development. There's explanation of what's going on. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the action scenes at all, but there's just some scenes in this film that just go on for too long. It's like, okay, we didn't need the car chase to be 10, 15 minutes long, you know. It gets a little boring in my opinion. Other than that, the story, it's an interesting story. Like I said, you know, you got people looking for the Ark of the Covenant, which is a biblical artifact, and it is, and he's trying to beat the Nazis to it so Hitler doesn't get it. I mean, that's a pretty interesting story. You know what I mean? That's a really interesting story. It's just sometimes it falls short and drags on too long in those action scenes. Another thing that I've noticed watching this film again is sometimes the acting can be a bit rough, especially in the first bar scene where he meets up with Marion Ravenwood again. Some of their dialogue early on in the film, the actors don't seem too comfortable with each other, and it feels very scripted. It feels like they are just reading it off a page a bit. As the film goes on, they get a lot better at communicating with each other, and the conversation feels more natural. I don't know really what else to say about this film other than it's Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's considered one of the all-time classics. In terms of a rating of like 1 out of 10 for me, of pure enjoyment, I would probably give Raiders of the Lost Ark like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's not something I would pop in all the time, mostly because I do feel the film does drag on in the action scenes for too long. I think the film could be cut down by a good 10-15 minutes or more, and that would give it a more like a better pace. But other than that, I don't have any issues with the movie. I think it's fine. I'm not going to tell you where I place it in the rest of the franchise, because after I watch all the other films, I'm going to do a franchise ranking, and that's including the Dial of Destiny. So once a week. So this is the first review. Next week I'll be reviewing Temple of Doom, and so on and so on. And then I'll go see Dial of Destiny in theaters, and then I'll give a review for that, and then I'll rank the whole franchise. So I'm not going to tell you where this ranks or which movie's my favorite yet or anything like that, because I don't know, because I haven't seen all 5 films. So I'll tell you that when the time comes. But other than that, guys, that's about it. Let me know if you think this film is an all-time classic, if you think it's a little bit overrated. I think for its time, it definitely did its job, and it held up. Over time, nowadays, I think the action scenes are a bit dated in terms of their length. I just don't think the action scenes need to go on that long. That's something that was very popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Action scenes would just go on for 10, 15 minutes. And the story wouldn't go very far. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think about this film down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, obviously, but it helps in the algorithm. And other than that, guys, have a peace out. Peace out, peasants. Bye-bye.